What if trying to believe is the very thing holding you back? Joseph Murphy unveiled a profound truth. The genuine law of faith has nothing to do with forcing yourself to believe. This is a concept most people miss, and it's the reason why real change often feels out of reach. True faith isn't an effort, it's a state of certainty that you can learn to master. Are you ready to find out how? Think of all the times you've repeated phrases like, "I believe this will work out," or "I believe I can do this," while a louder, deeper voice inside whispered, "But what if it doesn't? What if this is just another disappointment?" This is the exact conflict that Joseph Murphy aimed to resolve. He taught that authentic faith isn't a strenuous exercise of the conscious mind or the tiresome repetition of words. It's the natural state where your subconscious mind accepts something as already real. It's the subtle but powerful shift from saying "I believe" to feeling "I know." This small distinction holds all the power. You might have already explored the law of attraction, used affirmations, practiced visualizations, or chanted mantras, only to feel like you were in a constant battle. It can feel like you're fighting against yourself, trying to convince your mind of a truth that doesn't yet feel real. This is where most people get lost. According to Murphy, faith isn't a struggle. It's a surrender. It's the moment you stop trying to believe and start living in the state of certainty, as if your desire has already been fulfilled. This leads to the question that could change everything. How do you make this faith a tangible reality within you? How do you convince your subconscious, the very root of your existence, to accept that you already possess what you desire, even when your external world screams the opposite? This is the master key that Joseph Murphy left for us, and we are about to explore it. Pay close attention because every detail is crucial. With each revelation in this video, you'll feel the pieces of a puzzle clicking into place. Concepts that once seemed confusing will become crystal clear, and you will finally understand why you may have felt stuck, repeating practices without any lasting results. I assure you, the final insight I'll share is the most powerful of all. When you hear it, you'll understand why nothing you've tried before seemed to work. Before we go deeper, I need to tell you something important. This content has the potential to start a new chapter in your life, but only if you genuinely allow it. So take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This isn't just a simple click, it's a symbolic act. It's like telling the universe, "I am ready to receive this wisdom." And trust me, this small decision can open doors you never imagined. If you feel a voice within you calling for a true transformation, if you sense it's time to stop fighting your own mind and finally learn how to manifest effortlessly, I have a special gift for you in the first pinned comment. It's designed to expand on what we discuss here, offering an extra step to activate this law within you. Click on it after you finish this video. It might be the missing piece for your breakthrough. Now take a deep breath and prepare yourself. What you're about to hear isn't just theory or motivation. It's the revelation of how the law that underpins your entire life works. The law of faith. If you allow yourself to truly grasp it, nothing will ever be the same again. Have you ever noticed how the word faith is so often misunderstood? It's frequently reduced to a religious idea, a simple blind belief without question or foundation. But when Joseph Murphy spoke of the law of faith, he was referring to something much deeper and more personal, something that transcends any doctrine and touches the very fabric of the human mind. For him, faith isn't about positive thinking or repeating that things will go well. Faith is the natural state in which your subconscious mind accepts a truth without resistance. It's when what you desire ceases to be a wish and becomes a certainty. Murphy stated, "Faith is a way of thinking in the subconscious mind. This means that everything you've experienced until today is the result of a faith you held, even if you were unaware of it. Perhaps you've had faith in failure, in scarcity, or in abandonment. It may sound strange, but yes, it is possible to have faith in negative outcomes. This happens because faith is simply the conviction carried by your deepest mind. And your mind doesn't judge. It doesn't distinguish between good or bad. If your subconscious accepts something as real, it will manifest it. This is why so many people try to change their lives, but end up repeating the same cycles. Deep down, their faith is programmed to expect the same old results. You can repeat affirmations like, "I am wealthy," but if your core certainty is that money is scarce, that is your true faith. And that faith dictates what you see, what you attract, and what you experience. Now consider this. What if you could reprogram that faith? What if you could change the deepest conviction of your mind, replacing that invisible faith in lack, limitation, and pain with an unshakable faith in abundance, love, and fulfillment? This is precisely what Murphy called the law of faith. The ability to use your imagination to plant a new conviction in your subconscious, a conviction so strong that it begins to manifest in the physical world. He told incredible stories to illustrate this. One is about a man who was gravely ill and given no hope by his doctors. But instead of accepting this verdict, the man began to imagine himself completely healed. Every night before sleeping, he saw himself running, breathing freely, living in perfect health. He didn't just say the words, he felt it. He felt health vibrating in every cell until this image took root in his subconscious mind. A short time later, the impossible happened. His health was fully restored. What truly healed this man wasn't the struggle to believe. It was the quiet certainty, the state of faith installed in his mind. And this is the key. True faith is not a battle. It's a state of rest. You don't fight to believe. You rest in the certainty that it already exists. Here's something essential you might have never considered. Faith is not created by the effort of your conscious mind. Faith is born from the repetition of images, emotions, and sensations accepted by the subconscious. That's why Murphy called the imagination the workshop of faith. When you imagine vividly, when you feel it as if it were real, your subconscious accepts that scene as truth. From that point on, everything around you begins to reorganize to manifest this new reality. Perhaps you've tried to imagine a different life and gave up because it didn't seem to work. This happens because most people imagine for only a few seconds without emotion or real involvement. It's like they're just playing with disconnected images. The true practice is to feel it so deeply that your body responds, your heart races, your breathing changes. It is this emotional state that imprints upon the subconscious. Now imagine what your life would be like if, instead of wasting energy trying to believe in empty words, you simply lived within the scene of your desire, feeling it as reality. How would it feel to wake up with that certainty? Wouldn't it be lighter, more natural? This is true faith. And here comes a revelation that few understand. This law is already operating in your life, even if you don't realize it. When you fear something and spend nights dwelling on the worst-case scenario, you are creating faith in what you don't want. When you mentally repeat, "Things like this never work out for me," you are feeding an invisible faith that shapes your life. The universe doesn't differentiate between positive and negative faith. It simply responds to what your subconscious accepts as true. So the question isn't whether you have faith. The question is, what do you have faith in? This question can be painful because it forces us to look within and admit that we might be holding on to beliefs that sabotage us. But this pain is necessary. Because only when we recognize that our faith is rooted in scarcity can we decide to replant it in the soil of abundance. And how do you do this in practice? Murphy taught a simple yet powerful method. Before you go to sleep, when your mind is most receptive, you should imagine your desired scene as if it were already real. But it's not enough to just visualize. You must feel it. If you desire prosperity, see yourself paying bills with ease, smiling as you receive good financial news. If you desire love, feel yourself being embraced, loved, and secure. If you desire health, feel the lightness of your body functioning in perfect harmony. It's in this state, between wakefulness and sleep, that you plant the deepest seeds of faith. It may seem too simple, but its power lies in this simplicity. The subconscious mind doesn't resist vivid images accompanied by emotion. It accepts, records, and transforms them. And when you repeat this process night after night, your faith begins to reprogram itself. Imagine yourself a few weeks from now, living differently, feeling a conviction so solid within you that nothing on the outside can shake it. Imagine the peace of knowing that what you desire already exists and is on its way to you. This is the state of faith that Murphy said could move mountains. But I know you might be thinking, what if I can't feel it? What if I don't truly believe it? This is the biggest block of all. And here is the secret almost no one grasps. You don't need to believe it right away. You just need to start imagining. The feeling comes with repetition. Faith isn't born from force, but from consistency. When you imagine every day, even without much feeling at first, there comes a point when the scene becomes so familiar that your mind accepts it. And once it accepts it, it becomes faith. So, if you're struggling now, don't give up. Keep going. Allow yourself to repeat the scene, to play with it, to immerse yourself in it. Gradually, the feeling will blossom. It's like planting a seed. At first, you see nothing, but beneath the soil, something is already happening. Here's something even more profound. True faith isn't just believing that something will happen. It's knowing that it has already happened on another plane of reality and is simply on its way into your physical experience. It's trusting that the unseen is already formed and that time is merely the interval between the seed and the harvest. When you understand this, anxiety disappears because there is no more doubt. You no longer ask, will this work out? You simply wait, with the same confidence as a farmer who plants a seed and knows the harvest will come. This is the faith that Joseph Murphy called a law, because it is as certain as gravity. It doesn't depend on your mood, on luck, or on circumstances. It depends only on what your subconscious accepts as true. And if something inside you is calling for this transformation, I want to emphasize, in the first pinned comment, you will find a path to dive even deeper into this. It's something that will help you accelerate this process of reprogramming your faith, so you can stop fighting against your own mind and start using it in your favor. Don't ignore this opportunity, because it could be the exact piece your puzzle is missing. Now think, how many times have you tried to believe and ended up frustrated? How many times have you felt that faith was an impossible demand? What if all you needed was to stop trying to believe and simply learn to rest in certainty? This is the revolution Murphy proposed. A quiet revolution that begins within you and then reflects out into the world. And remember, the final revelation I promised is still to come. It will tie all of this together and reveal the true power of the law of faith. You've made it this far, and if you've paid attention to every detail, you've likely already sensed that the faith Joseph Murphy spoke of is not a forced exercise of repetition, not a desperate attempt to believe in something that doesn't yet feel real. True faith is a state. It is the quiet, calm, and profound certainty that settles in the subconscious and begins to move everything around you. But now it's time to reveal the final key, the most powerful of all, the one that completes this puzzle and transforms knowledge into experience. Murphy taught that faith is not just an inner force, but also a bridge between you and the infinite. This means that when you reach this state of certainty, you are not just activating your own mind, you are connecting directly with a higher intelligence that governs the universe. And here is the great revelation. This intelligence does not need to be convinced, persuaded, or begged. It has already said yes the moment you accepted something as true within yourself. This changes everything. It means you no longer have to chase, plead, or prove anything to anyone. Your only task is to align your inner world, install certainty in your subconscious, and allow the external world to reflect that state. It's like looking in a mirror. The reflection only changes when you change first. The mistake is trying to fix the reflection instead of adjusting the original image. The ultimate revelation Murphy left us is simple yet profoundly liberating. Faith is creative, not reactive. It isn't a response to what happens in the world. It is the cause that gives rise to what happens. If until today you have lived by reacting to circumstances, feeling like a victim of luck, other people, time, or the economy, it's because your faith was conditioned by the external. But when you understand that faith is creative, you become the source. You discover that the world does not have the power to dictate your reality, because you are the one who dictates to the world what must manifest. When this understanding takes root, a new feeling is born within you: peace. You realize you no longer need to fight against life. You no longer need to struggle against the tide. Your only job is to remain in the state of certainty. Everything you desire already exists, already created in the invisible realm, and faith is the channel through which that reality materializes. Now imagine waking up every day with this confidence. Imagine looking at challenges not as obstacles, but as signs that the universe is simply rearranging the pieces for your faith to manifest. Imagine feeling the calm of someone who already knows that victory is certain, even if their eyes cannot yet see it. This is what Murphy called resting in faith. It is the end of the struggle, a conscious surrender, the state of peace that precedes manifestation. But perhaps you're wondering, how can I live this way every day? How can I cultivate this certainty when life insists on showing me the opposite? And here is the answer. You must constantly feed your subconscious with the reality you desire. You must choose every single day which scene you will allow your mind to record as truth. This is why the practice before sleep is so powerful. At that moment, the conscious mind quiets down and the subconscious is open. It is in this window that you plant your faith. And if you do this consistently, something amazing will happen. Signs will begin to appear. Small synchronicities, unexpected encounters, doors that open. At first, it may seem like a coincidence, but you will realize that nothing is random. These are the first manifestations of your faith materializing, and each sign reinforces your certainty even more until the invisible becomes visible. Faith, ultimately, is a cycle. You plant in the subconscious, wait with confidence, harvest in the physical world, and reinforce your certainty. This cycle can be one of abundance or scarcity. The choice is always yours. Now, I need to be honest with you. The faith Joseph Murphy revealed is not for those seeking easy shortcuts. It requires surrender, consistency, and patience. But it is also the only true way to create lasting change. Because it doesn't work on the surface, it works at the root. And when you change the root, the fruit has no choice but to change as well. So if you feel that the time has come to stop fighting against life and finally learn to live in this state of creative faith, I invite you to take one more step. In the first pinned comment, I've left something special for you that will help you dive even deeper into this process. It's not just knowledge, it's practice, it's transformation. If you felt a connection with what I've shared here, don't ignore this opportunity. It could be the very key you've been missing. And now, I want you to reflect. How many years have you spent trying to believe, trying to fight, trying to force things to change? What if, instead of more struggle, your next step is to simply rest in certainty? This is the life you deserve. This is the state you can choose, starting today. The law of faith is not an empty promise. It is a law. It works always, for everyone, in all circumstances. The only difference is whether you will use it consciously in your favor or unconsciously against yourself. And that decision is yours. If this video has brought you clarity, inspiration, and awakened this flame of change within you, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This simple gesture shows that you are committed to your transformation and also helps this message reach more people who need to hear it. Now close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, and allow certainty to settle within you. Because from this day forward, you no longer have to try to believe. You can simply know. And it is this knowing, this quiet faith, that will transform everything.